What's up, guys? I'm reviewing the comic books that I picked up on October 16th, 2019, coming up next. What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce Moreau, and welcome to the channel, and welcome to another episode of Comic Book Reviews, a weekly series where I come to you with my thoughts on the comic books that I picked up at my local comic book shop, and this week was October 16th, 2019. I wanted to first off apologize for the way my voice sounds. If you can't tell, I am a little bit under the weather, and I'm also a day late on uploading this video, guys. I am so sorry. I was sick as a dog the last 2 days, and I was in bed by like 9:30 each day. So, yeah, that's why this video is coming to you guys a day late. But I'm going to start off this video with a little something different than normal. I was actually at the mall. I'd never go to the mall. But my son, my oldest son, Nate, loves to go to the mall because there is a Tesla store there. And while I was there, I found there was a Newberry Comics at the mall. It's not my favorite comic book store by far, but they did have a lot of cool merchandise, and I found this little guy. So it's a little bag, and in the little bag you have a chance of getting one of these 6 cool Batman figures. And so I had Nate pick out which one it is, and I haven't opened it yet. It's completely sealed, and I figured I'd open it up for you guys. So let's do it. Let's do a little tear, and let's see which Batman I got. Oh, nice. So this is the Darwin. No, this is the Jason Fabok Batman. That is dope. Actually, one of the. There's 3 that I liked, and this is one of the main ones. That is awesome. Super cool. I will probably try to collect all 6, because why not, you know? I'm not a huge action figure guy, but, you know, I got a few things. I'll be adding a Miles Morales Spider-Man to the set soon because my daughter got that for me for my birthday, which is today. Yay, happy birthday. So, I got 11 books to jump into. Let's not waste any more time and get into those books because it's also Friday morning and I need to catch the train in like 20 minutes. So this is going to probably be a little rapid fire, but let's jump right into it. First up, we have X-Men #1. So this is the start of, oh man, the glare from the sun and everything. This is crazy. So this is X-Men #1. This is written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Linnell Francis Yu. This is starting the whole. This is the first of all the series spinning out of House of X and Powers of X. And Jonathan Hickman himself is writing this book, and Linnell's artwork is absolutely beautiful. Let's just start by saying that. I'm super excited for all these X-Men books. I am an X-Men fan. I'm just not like one of those die-hard X-Men fans. I wasn't reading back in the Claremont days or anything like that. But I do love all these characters. I'm a big Marvel fan, so I'm excited to see where this is going. And this kind of does pick up right off where we left the X-Men at the end of House of X and Powers of X. We see them trying to take down Osiris or Orchis, which is the humans who are the group of human scientists who are trying to create the, you know, master mold and devices to kill the X-Men or exterminate the X gene, basically. And yeah, we get some more from the Osiris people, which I really enjoyed, and we didn't really hear anything from them for like the last 2 or 3 issues of House of X and Power of X. There was a big battle, and after the big battle, we didn't hear anything, so we get some more from them. And just some more general lead up. We get some whole family. Cyclops, after the big battle, had dinner with his family. Sorry, and that was pretty cool. It was cool to see who he considers his family. And overall, it was a decent first issue. It's a first issue. It's a lot to start to get moving. For the story. So overall, decent book. Not the best, but I was the most excited about this book, so that's why I read it first. But I would give it maybe like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. But it's good. Artwork by friend Linnell is absolutely amazing. So if you want some beautiful X-Men art, definitely pick that up. And it's a great jumping in point. Let me not forget, that is an amazing jumping in point. You'll be a little bit out of the mix if you didn't read House of X and Powers of X, but it's a #1. If you want to get into the X-Men, jump in now. All right, next up we have Spider-Man #2. This is the book written by J.J. and Henry Abrams. J.J. Abrams, and art by Sarah Pichelli. I really, really enjoyed the first book. This book seems to me like it's falling into the normal superhero routine. It's just kind of like, I kind of knew the whole time where the story was going for Ben Parker, which is Peter Parker's son, and there was no surprise, and that's what kind of let me down in this book. The art by Sarah Pichelli is absolutely awesome. If you have not read Spider-Man #1 of this run by J.J. and Henry Abrams, I do like what they're doing with Peter Parker. I think that is a really cool, interesting element of the story. Just not what so much with Ben. And that just kind of seems like a repeat of what has already happened many a times, and many times Spider-Man stories have been told. Excuse me, my voice. But let me get some coffee. It's a decent book, and the art by Sarah Pichelli makes me want to continue picking this book up. I'm going to continue picking this book up because I think there's only 6 issues, so only 4 more to go. Is it a good jumping in point? Not really. And if I was going to rate this book 1 out of 10, I think I'm going to start doing that. It helps give you guys an idea of like how good I think this book is. I would think this is a 7 out of 10, a 6 out of 10, somewhere in there. It's on the better side of a book. It's like a decent book, it's just not crazy good. All right, we have Absolute Carnage #4. This is written by Donny Cates, Mr. Fabulous Donny Cates, and art by Ryan Stegman. Ryan Stegman's art continues to be a complete, amazing. It's absolutely incredible. This book is so well drawn. Ryan Stegman, man, your art is absolutely beautiful. I am so sorry, guys, for the glare. The sun, I'm dealing with the sun and sets of lights. It's so hard. But this book was decent. Again, this is more of like a 7 out of 10 on the scale, on my new scale. It was really good, and some fun things happened, especially at the end of the book, but it took a while to get to that end part, and I was hoping to get through the book faster. Yeah. I don't want to say too much. So at the end of the last issue, Venom, the symbiote decides to leave. Oh man, I'm always gonna forget his name. I'll put it up on the screen. But he leaves him and goes into Bruce Banner or the Hulk, and so we have Venom Hulk at the beginning of this. We see some Miles Morales in this, which was actually fun and good to see in that. And overall, this was a decent book. Eddie Brock. Why do I keep forgetting? His name is Eddie Brock. So Eddie Brock is left alone to without the symbiote to fight. He finds a way to keep going. It was fun. I really did like what happened at the very end of the book. I don't want to ruin anything if you're not reading this book. It's a good book. Like I said, this is a 7 out of 10. This was a really fun read. It went really fast. It's a nice, thick, chunky book. It just, again, that first issue was so good. And this is just kind of like, it seems like it's falling into the same rhythm, same path. But hopefully what happened at the end, that's when we get to see something special, something fun. So next issue, I believe, is the final one, #5. Maybe there's a 6, but I think this is only a 5-issue run. So not a great jumping in point as well. Obviously, it's issue 4 of the 5-issue run. All right, next up we have Batman #81. This is written by Tom King and art by John Romita Jr. This was a good book. It wasn't amazing. John Romita Jr.'s art is you either like it or you don't. And that's obviously my opinion. I am on the not like it so much front. It was decent. It just has a very stylized look. And like I said, you either love it or you hate it. This was fun. It dealt kind of with Bruce and Kat on one side trying to get to Bane, and then a story of his family trying to take down evil Thomas Wayne, which is an alternate Batman from an alternate future who Bruce is the one that gets murdered. And Tom is left, or Bruce and Martha are the one that are murdered, and Bruce is left, and he becomes the Batman. So it was fun. It was interesting. Yeah, I'm still excited to see where this goes because there's some fun twists in this. Again, if you're not reading it, I don't want to ruin it in case you guys do come back and read it. But I am really excited to see where this book goes because there's only 4 issues left on Tom King's run because he's done with issue 85. And yeah. I would definitely suggest picking this book up. This was again like probably like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It wasn't amazing, but it was good, and it's building up to something that I think is going to be amazing. And Tom King's run on Batman, in my opinion, is just going to be, it's going to go down in history as one of my favorite runs of all time. So that's that. Obviously, not a good jumping in point. It is number 81 out of 81 issues. So if you do want to read that book, please pick it up and trade, because I think it'll be worth your time. Let me give some more coffee. Hopefully this will stop the voice. All right, next up we have Guardians of the Galaxy number 10. This is written by the great Donny Cates again. Man, I gotta pick up all of his books. And art by Corey Smith. Sorry, I had to look down at my phone because I wasn't sure who drew the story. This, again, continues to be such a fun book to read. Yeah, it's wacky, it's crazy, it's got so much going on for it. I don't know how much I should want to tell you guys, but I don't remember who this character is down here. But he's integral to the story. Even reading this, I couldn't remember who it was, but we got Rocket, Moondragon, and Groot going down to this planet to recruit this kid, and he, I guess, has some powers to over the Church of Truth, and we have Drax being reborn, which is pretty awesome. We got our boy Star-Lord, and I don't know, I think I just love what's going on, and Rocket is still dying, but he's being kept alive by the suit that he's built, and yeah, it's just a really fun book. If you like the Guardians of the Galaxy characters, you guys are going to like this book, because the story that Donny Cates is telling, it's just super fun, super interesting. I would rate this an 8 out of 10. This is an awesome, awesome book. And the art by Corey Smith isn't bad. It's not great. Like, I don't know. It's decent. But I would just highly suggest you guys pick this book up. I've been having so much fun with this book since I started picking this book up with issue number 1. Yeah, pick up Guardians of the Galaxy. It's obviously not a great jumping in point because it is issue number 10, but it's definitely worth your time. All right, next up we have Captain America number 15. This is written by my boy Ta-Nehisi Coates and art by Jason Masters. I have been hyping this book up for so long, and this continues to be one of the most interesting, fun reads out of Marvel and DC. What Ta-Nehisi Coates is doing is just awesome, fabulous, crazy. It reads like a very well done TV show, which, if you, obviously almost all of us watch TV, and when you just get sucked into a TV show, and then, like, you're living that world for that hour or whatever. It's so good, and that's what this book is. There's so many elements that Ta-Nehisi Coates is building in this story, and it's like, I love that he's involving all these characters that is not Captain. Captain America is like the focal point, but he's not the main character of his own book, and that is just awesome. It is just so good. This is a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 book. This is just awesome. The art is good. They've changed artists a bunch on this book. It's good. But what you come to this book for is the story. The story is so awesome. It's superheroes, but we have a cast of amazing characters that are helping Cap trying to get back his identity, and it is just so good. And I love what they're doing with Sharon. I can go on and on. This book is awesome. Pick up Captain America. You're not gonna regret it, folks. I promise you. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5 books left. I gotta hustle. All right, next up we have Something is Killing the Children. This is written by my boy James Tynion IV. He doesn't know me, but James, I love your writing. It's so good. And this is art by Werther Dell'Edera. Sorry, I am notorious for butchering names. I mean, this cover is absolutely awesome. I love it. I love this book. This is quickly becoming one of my my most favorite books. It is just James Tynion's writing is, again, this is just like Captain America. When you're reading this book, it is just like you're watching a fabulous, great TV episode about this great book. Really interesting, compelling characters. The dialogue is on point. Even the new characters that he's introducing, you feel for them and you're engaged in who they are really quickly, which is hard to do in comic books, in my opinion, if it's not written well. The monster part of this book, because something is killing the children, they are monsters, and the monsters are well done. It's like this certain level of intrigue. It's just so good. And I love where there's art. It's not my favorite style of art by no means. It's like it's got a very stylized look to it, but that look fits this book perfectly. It fits it so well. Get a look at one of the monsters. I mean, it's perfect for this book. I am so excited to read this book. This is a book printed by Boom Studios. There's some books at the back of this that they're teasing. I'm super excited for, but this is a 10 out of 10 book for me. It is hitting. There's only 2 issues, so it could become not as good in the next coming issues, but this is so good. So good. Definitely pick this book up. Like I said, 10 out of 10. Something is killing the children. Number 2. It's number 2. You guys can jump in now and still have it, and you can definitely find the first issue. It was in my store, or you can find it online, I promise. Next up, we have Once in Future number 3. This is written by Karen Gillian and art by Dan Mora. This continues to be a super fun read. I don't want to bash the writing too much because it is written well. It's just not written really well. There's parts where I feel like they're skipping things is the easiest way for me to describe, because I feel like there could have been some more lines or more panels in the conversation, but they skipped them to just try to get the story further the story within the book. But this book is super fun. It's about a grandmother and grandson teaming up to fight monsters and evil, and the grandson did not know his grandmother was a monster hunter, and she is just this kooky, wacky, crazy old lady, and the art is just like the last book. It fits this perfectly. It's another book by Boom Studios. Boom is putting out some really solid books. I haven't read too many of them, but the books that I have read are awesome. And overall, this is just a super fun book. It's not the best. This is more like a 7 out of 10, but it's definitely worth picking up. I absolutely enjoyed this book front to back. So pick up Once in Future. You guys will not regret it. It's issue number 3, so it's not the greatest jumping in point, but it's not too bad, because I think I saw issues 1 and 2 at my store, but your mileage may vary at your store, but you can find these books online. I'll try to put a link down here to a online store that I know carries lots and lots of back issues. So next up we have Justice League number 34. This is written by Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV. Right? I got that right. Yes, James Tynion IV, and art by Bruno Redondo and Howard Porter. This was kind of like the climax of the Rising of Doom story arc. I believe that's what it's called, where Doom is trying to raise Perpetua. Spoiler, they raise it at the end of the issue, but it was kind of fun getting there. There were some cool things that happened, some really cool moments. This is one of the cool moments. It's not a 2-page spread, so I don't want to show the other side because it's an advertisement for a new wrestling channel. But it was fun. I'm loving this story by Scott Snyder or James Tynion. It's not every issue is amazing. This was not an amazing issue. It's kind of like a 6.5 out of 10. But it's still pushing that same crazy story arc where there's this crazy god from the beginning of time who the Legion of Doom is trying to bring back, that was stuck in the source wall. Excuse me, I have to wipe my nose. And obviously the Justice League is there trying to stop them, and it's just wacky, kooky, fun story, and it's just written really well, so it's very enjoyable. The art in this book was decent. There was 2 artists in the book, so we get 2 styles of art. Sometimes it's annoying, but this wasn't too bad. But again, it's like a 6.5 out of 10. It was good. I would suggest reading Justice League because I really enjoy it. Like I said, not all the issues are amazing, but there are some really strong, awesome story arcs in this book so far. Yeah, so that's Justice League number 34. Not a good jumping in point, obviously, issue 34, and that's all those issues that have been leading up to this Legion of Doom story arc, so yeah, not a good jumping in point. All right, up next we have Teen Titans number 35. This is written by Adam Glass and art by Bernard Chang. I think this is going to be it for me. I did not like this book. This is a 4 or 5 out of 10. This falls into the crux of storytelling that is just very basic, I would say. That's the best way. I've seen this style of writing before. It's not that interesting. It's falling into the crux of... I've said the last few reviews in this book. I like Adam Glass's art, though. It's just falling into the crux of stories that have been told before, I think. It's just like, oh, that's what they're doing. Okay, I know where this is going. So there's no surprises in this book right now, and that's what I look for in comic books. I need to be surprised. Especially with superhero books, like, if you've been reading superhero books for 16, 17 years and you're not surprised, things get boring. So it's a decent book. Like I said, it's like a 4 or 5, but this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna pick up Teen Titans for a while, at least until the creative team changes. It's just not that good of a book for me, so I'm not gonna suggest you guys pick that book up. In the last book of the week, we have Metal Men number 1. This is written by Dan DiDio and art by Michelle Deldecki. It was a decent read. It's probably a 6 out of 10. It was interesting. Was definitely trying to set up a lot in the first issue and kind of get you interested in the characters. I've always enjoyed the Metal Men. They've been around a few times, or used a few times since I started reading comic books. They're not huge characters. They're interesting enough. They're androids that they have like a heart that animates their liquid metal around them. There's tin, lead, gold, platinum, and copper, I think is the other one. But they're introducing a new Metal Men shortly, I believe, probably in the next issue. Nth Metal. If you don't know what Nth Metal is, Nth Metal was introduced in the Dark Knight's Metal book. It's what brought up the Dark Multiverse to our universe, which brought us the Batman Who Laughs, and a lot of other crazy evil characters. So I'm super excited to see where that goes, because that's super interesting. And the art by Michelle Deldecki is decent. It's not crazy good, but it's fun. I'm definitely going to pick this up for a few more issues. I want to see where this goes. Dan DiDio is a good writer, so I want to see where this goes. And these characters are interesting enough, and I really, really, really want to see where that Nth Metal storyline goes. So, obviously, it was a little bit of a longer than I wanted to longer video than I wanted to be, guys. I'm sorry. This whole be having a cold thing is totally throwing me off my game, but I apologize for the voice. Next week I'll be better, but if you guys are around tonight, please tune in for the live stream. We have a special guest in from out of town. But Stephanie and I will be on 10 p.m. Eastern. You guys should tune in. That's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Please let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. I know my voice was annoying. If you thought it was annoying, let me know. If you guys are reading any other books that I'm not reading that I should be reading, please let me know. Also, just let me know how you guys are enjoying the content. And like always, guys, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you guys are not subscribed, get your guys self subscribed. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.